Here I am at the place where it all began, the birthplace of tech, yes, city. This is Japan, and I'm here for another good week, and in that time I plan to take you guys through a tour of a mega used PC parts hunt hustle, because in Japan you can usually find a lot of good deals on parts that a lot of people otherwise would just think is absolute junk. And to me, I know that a lot of these parts aren't indeed junk, and especially if you can pick them up for a good price. Now right behind me we've got a place called Hard Off, and essentially this place will trade in a lot of used stuff that people otherwise wouldn't want, and they'd want to chuck it away, but in Japan they usually have to pay money to chuck away electronics. So they sell it to these places for really cheap, and then these places like Hard Off charge a little bit of a markup, or sometimes quite a big markup. But if the price is right, you're still going to get a good deal. So let's go through a mega tour on all these places and see what bargains we can find. So now we just finished up in that Hard Off, and the prices were pretty bad on a lot of the stuff. For instance, they had like an old Celeron, an old i3, an old FX processor, and the money they were asking, like even just about $10 for an old 478 socket CPU is just not worth it at all. They even had a Core 2 Quad Q6600 for about $20, and I mean, you can't really try and sell them for $5, at least in Australia. So the deals there were just a bit of a bust. I did manage, however, to find an H67M motherboard, and that was okay. I mean, they wanted about $20 for that board, so the price was okay, but here's the kicker. It said that it was not checked. So in other words, they don't know if it works or not, and if I buy that, they're not going to give me a refund. So essentially I'm taking a gamble on that motherboard for $20, which I'm not prepared to do. They also had some older cases and some older RAM as well, DDR3, where they wanted about $60 for 16 gigabytes. And here's the thing, you can buy 16 gigabytes off AliExpress, brand new, delivered to your door, cheaper than that. So unfortunately the prices in this Hard Off just really didn't strike it this first time around. But with that said, let's head to the next destination and keep seeing if we can get those deals. So we're now at the next Hard Off, and I've actually never been to this one before, so here's hoping to picking up some of these deals and seeing if they've got something for the yes. So stepping outside that Hard Off, it was extremely uneventful, and the prices were the worst I've ever seen yet, and let me explain. There was an RX 570 4 gigabyte, and they wanted a Neiman Nissan. In conversion, that's almost 200 and something, 210 US dollars for a used graphics card that you can get cheaper even in Japan, brand new. Because in Japan, on like for instance Amazon, you can get this card for around about 150 US dollars delivered to your door. So I'm kind of scratching my head as to why these prices are so high in these Hard Offs. And then right beside that, they had a 1050 Ti, which was overpriced as well. And then looking through some of the monitors as well as some of the PCs they had for sale, it was just a complete bust, and I can't emphasize that enough. It's my first time coming here, and it's probably going to be my last time coming to this Hard Off. But with that said, we're gonna head to the next stop, but on the way, I'm definitely gonna check out what I can do online see if there's an app that the Japanese use to get used deals, and even check out things like Facebook Marketplace and Yahoo Auction, because I know one thing for sure is I'm not going to be satisfied, and I'm pretty sure you guys aren't going to be satisfied too unless I get a deal. So we're now out the front of PC Depot, and in the past I have picked up some good parts on used as well as new, because sometimes they have some one-time sales going on things like, I'd say for now, hopefully like a GTX 1050 Ti or a 1650 or an RX 570, but one can only hope.
もう中古のパーツを売りますから。中古のパーツがお客様からお譲りいただいたものベースになってしまうので、ある時とない時が、今回私日月だけ長しか来てて、そこだと今ないみたいです。はい、わかりました。ありがとうございます。Thank you.
So just stepped outside of that PC Depot, and it was a complete bust. They didn't have practically any used parts for sale. And then I checked out their new parts, and things, for instance, like that RX 570 we saw in the hard off, they must be checking prices here and basing it off the $300 RX 570 and then marking it down maybe 25% or something like that. And even then we saw the MSI version, and that was going at a much better price. 1650 as well, that was because we can get tax off if you're foreigners and you're coming here and shopping. Even at the tax off price, I can pick it up cheaper in Australia. So new parts are looking like they're overpriced here, and used parts, I just really can't find anything good at the moment. But checking outside of this place, because I recently did a video on chairs, it's interesting because if you guys need a chair base and you're in Japan, then you can definitely pick one up for free from the junk pile here. Also, one more thing I have noticed with Ryzen is that it's starting to get center place on the sales tables here at PC Depot. So in the previous years, all you would see was Intel, i5, i7. Now Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7, and Ryzen 9 are getting that center stage. And another thing is too, I've found out where those missing Ryzen 9 3900Xs are. A lot of them must have been shipped over to Japan because they're sold out pretty much everywhere else in the world, but here. So we just stepped outside this next hard off here, and I did manage to score myself a 500 watt 80 plus bronze power supply with some black sleeve cables for around about $15. So they wanted 1620 yen for it, which was weird because they had 1650 yen printed on it. But after I bought this, I asked them if they could take discounts because I'm a foreigner, if they could take the tax off at the very least if I bought some other stuff, and they said they couldn't do that. It's a little bit weird because I know in Tokyo they do take the tax off for foreigners, and they also in Tokyo as well, if you do buy a few items, they'll give you a little discount if you ask for it. So I asked them if they could do that, and they didn't do that, and then I asked them if I bought 5 2TB hard drives, could they do me a discount, and they said they couldn't do that either. So of course I'm just going to leave the stuff sitting there because they had the 2TB drives at around about $30 a drive, and if I could get them for around $25, and they had 5 of them, if I get them around $25 a pop, then that would definitely make it worth it for 5 2TB drives. Also, they had some decent 1080p monitors, but again, they were right on that threshold where I'm used to getting builds in Oz and parts in Oz a bit cheaper. And the funny thing is, even with motherboards and stuff like that, I recently went over to Taiwan where they check the boards out for you and they're a lot cheaper. So I guess we've got the first element here of a PC which I want to build for my son. So while I'm over in Japan, I want to build my little boy a Fortnite PC because he says he likes Fortnite, which is ironic because I'm not a big fan of Fortnite, but it seems all the younger kids are getting on Fortnite. So if I can end up building him a nice price performance rig while I'm here for Fortnite, I'll be happy. But that being said, there really wasn't a lot else in there. There was some 2 GB sticks of DDR3 memory, and they wanted around $15 for 6 GB. But of course, being 2 GB sticks, you are pretty limited. And so all there's left to do is keep on, Tech Yes citizens. And at the very least, I've got this power supply to charge me up for the rest of this hunt. So we're now at the last store of the day because it is getting a little bit dark outside. But in the meantime, I did manage to search up on the Yahoo auctions as well as the Rakuten marketplace for some deals, especially on first gen Ryzen as well as some i7s. And that's looking decent. So if anything, a fallback for getting some PC parts together in order to build a gaming PC is a last resort by going online within Japan. And the prices are coming a little bit lower than that of AliExpress. And of course, we can pick up something like a B350 ASRock Gaming K4, which is better than some of those no-name boards that are going on AliExpress right now. But fingers crossed that this place behind us has some deals installed. Otherwise, we're unfortunately gonna have to download those deals. So stepping out of that hard off, I don't think I have seen more of a bust in my life than this place. I mean, this is the place that raised Tech Yes City, and I know there's nothing wrong with me in terms of looking for deals because this year I've been to Taiwan, America, and then Australia, and all 3 of those places have been giving me amazing deals. But we'll talk a little bit about that after we talk about how bad these prices were. For starters, I knew something was wrong when I saw a 128 gigabyte SSD that's used going for $50. And then they had a RAM that was just overpriced, and it was so overpriced to the stage where they should maybe just get some G-Skill Ripjaws memory heat sinks, put it on the memory, cross out the jaws and just put job, and at least I'd get some comical value out of it. But going through some of the other prices there, they had some $10 power supplies that were junk, so they didn't even guarantee them. And the ratings on these things were junk as well. So $10 for a power supply that you're not even sure that works, and it's got a crap rating that won't even power any decent components. But there was one solace in that place, and that was they had that RX 570, the 4 gigabyte Aorus, going for $130 as opposed to the other place that was asking $220. But what I'm going to do now is head back to my pad and we'll talk a little bit more about this situation that's unfolded here today. So now just docking back here, we found that today was pretty bad in terms of what we picked up. We got a 500 watt power supply for 15 bucks. It was a pretty decent one with all black sleeve cables. And also one thing, when I got back here, I checked out an auction site called Mercari. So it's kind of similar to the Japanese Yahoo auctions, and I did scan some deals on there and they were okay. So it did give me a price range in my head of what I can pick things up for online, and that at least gives me a basis for what to compare it to when we go to Akihabara, Tokyo, because I know from last year I did start seeing a trend, and that's where Tokyo started getting the better deals, and outside of Tokyo in suburban areas started getting worse and worse. And today definitely confirms that that trend has continued, and it's got to the stage where it's not even worth going to a lot of these places anymore because it's just a waste of time. I mean, be picking up one deal, you're probably thinking, damn Brian, you wasted all that time, all those resources, getting train tickets and stuff, just for one power supply. But that's sort of one way of thinking about it. The other way I think about it is sort of like this, is that time and energy that I spent parts hunting today outside of Tokyo, I learned a lesson from that. And so next time I come into this area, I can probably just visit one of the stores and start to see how the trend is forming. So I can then save myself a lot more time when I go deals hunting. So it was definitely not worth it in the raw sense of getting the parts, but I at least established a whole baseline for this parts hunt here today. And so part one, even though it seems like a bit of a failure, is actually a stepping stone for the next 3 parts that I'm going to be hitting you guys with. So get ready, because this deals hunt is only just beginning. And tomorrow I'm hoping that I'll get better prices, at least on the used Ryzen stuff, and also the used i7s and i5s and stuff like that, better than I would online. And if I can beat those online prices, then I'll be a happy camper. But with that aside, at least you won't have to let me know in the comment section what your favorite deal of today's episode was, because there was only one deal. But now we've got the question of the day, and it comes from Salty Desire, and he says, why are we so obsessed with Xeons on this channel? He just started binging the vids last night, and the Xeon was prevalent on all of them. And I'm gonna be honest, I kind of am obsessed with Xeons. You probably see that with the channel here. And that spans from a few reasons. The first being that I was into Xeons before the used price performance bug pretty much took over the whole world. And that was sort of to do with the fact that you could get a Xeon and they were better value for money, in my opinion, than the i7 and also the i5 variants, that they were similar in performance too. Another factor was that they were a better bin, in that they were slightly more power efficient usually, and if they were overclockable, take for instance the 5675, the 6-core 12-threaded on the X58 platform, they usually overclocked higher for lower volts too. And then there's the second factor, that they also are generally in more of an abundance than the i7 and i5s. So they can be had on the used market nowadays a lot cheaper than the i5s and i7s that they're comparable to. Take for instance on AliExpress, I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to find a 1230 V2 for a lot cheaper than an i7 3770, and they should be very similar in performance, but of course the Xeon comes in a lot cheaper. But one thing about the Xeons is a lot of the time you do lose that HD graphics portion, but I found myself the whole time I've been using CPUs, I haven't really taken advantage of the built-on HD graphics from Intel, even after they started implementing the ability to use it like in, for instance, encoding streams and stuff like that, as well as video editing, transcoding. I've still found myself just using either NVIDIA's onboard or AMD's onboard encoders on their GPUs, or just getting a separate streaming rig entirely for software encodes. But the last thing to do with the Xeons was that there were some pretty cool variants that were never released in the form of i7s and i5s. Take for instance the 1680 V2, that's an 8-core, 16-threaded Ivy Bridge Xeon. That was never released on X79 in an i7 variant, so that's a unique example. There's also a lot of Haswell V3 CPUs that we're still kind of going to get into here on the channel when prices come down. They're just a treasure trove waiting to happen, but that sort of hopefully explains the obsession behind Xeons. But anyway guys, if you enjoyed today's video, then you know what to do. Hit that like button for us. Also, stay tuned, because tomorrow we're gonna get rowdy right inside Tokyo and see what we can come up with on this mega PC parts hunt series at Tech Yes City. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out for now. Bye.